Usually they say don't let the door kick you in the ass on the way out. It got me on the way in. Okay. There it is. All up on this lift. Alright. By the way, 3.5 EcoBoost out of 2015. No turbos, but all sensors. Good running engine. For sale. 6-speed transmission out of Mustang. For sale. Hit me up. This is as far as I got on it. But we'll get to that, okay? I promise we'll get to this. I gotta try and pay some bills because YouTube hasn't been pushing my content since I started the second channel.
Happy birthday, America! Now through July 5th at midnight, almost everything is on sale at weldmetalsonline.com. Celebrate Independence Day with even more savings using stackable discount codes from your favorite affiliates for even more freedom of retail prices. No time to waste. Head over to weldmetalsonline.com after this video to save.
I sit here at this desk, I stare at these computer screens, I go bleep, bloop, bleep, and click, click, clack on my friggin' keyboard, and I get stuff done. That's my job. But I've been kind of silent lately, and for good reason, actually. But I wanted to give you guys some updates on a lot of that stuff that's been going on here, and I'll tell you about the truck and everything else that we have planned, because I'm actually making some really big changes right now, and it should explain everything. And by the way, thank you so much for all those people that do, drop a message, DM, or email or whatever, just checking in on me. Even a couple of guys have called the shop, and they're just like, hey, just haven't seen a lot of you lately, or content's been kind of whatever, and I'll explain all that. But thank you guys for that. The biggest thing here is there's a change to the YouTube channel. I guess you could say that when I started, I wanted it to be more fabrication content, and of course I'm a car guy. A lot of you probably don't realize that, but I love cars. That's what I do. I've been building race cars for over 20 years. Now the last car I did build was it was 2005, I think it was, a Ford GT that I did an update on the twin turbos. So new turbos, new exhaust, all that stuff. That was 2 years ago, and I still haven't edited that video. But as you can see here, there's a couple of clips of what I did or whatever the case is. Maybe one of these days I'll get that back. But YouTube's been kind of screwy lately. A lot of my welding content I want to shift over to a second channel, and I have, or at least we've started that. So that way I can bring TFS back to the fabrication related stuff that you guys originally kind of seem to enjoy. So we do have a new series on TFS that's coming out relatively soon. It's called DEETS, D-E-E-T-S, as in short for details. That is an acronym for Design, Engineer, Test, and Sell. And that basically means that we're taking parts from like an existing vehicle, and we're going to design new parts or upgraded parts for you to basically market, create, replicate, and sell for money. So basically you can run your side hustle doing stuff like this. So it's a fantastic series. It's very intense on the time and editing and stuff like that, and that's where I'm running short on things, but I'll get to that in just a second. The second channel is actually the third company that I manage, and that's called Weld Coach. Weld Coach, the channel, coincides with Weld Coach for the company. Now this is what I've been hiding for a very, very long time. It's taken me 4 years, my staff and I, to build this entire platform from scratch, but I'm excited for it. It basically is the ultimate welding instruction method possible. It's your personal welding instructor anywhere you are. So rather than having a bunch of friggin' videos that you pay for a subscription and passively wait on answers, we're skipping all that. And when you book a class on Weld Coach, you get a personal welding instructor on the other end of your device, somebody to walk you through and teach you how to weld right then and there, right in front of you, no matter where you are in the country and eventually the world. It works everywhere on every device. It is absolutely amazing. It's taken forever to get through it and build it, but it is almost done, and we're currently in the test phases of it right now. If you go to weldcoach.com, you'll actually you'll see the join the waitlist form, and eventually it's going to be full site, live, launched, whatever the case is. So if you're interested in that, give it a try, give it a shout. But I think YouTube has kind of been shadowing me just because I've got the mix of content or whatever the case is going on both sides of the spectrum, if you will, right? So it's like the algorithm is not sure what to make of TFS now. It's not really sure what to make of Weld Coach, but you know, it's all there. Right now, there's only a couple videos that have gone up. More are coming as we go through it. So dedicated welding content for free. And if you want to book a class with somebody, you know, the metal shows up at your door. You just click the button, off you go. It's a beautiful thing. So that's what's been the ultimate time suck for me, and why I've been kind of silent and not able to get everything done on TFS. Now, TFS and Weld Coach, those are only 2 out of the 3 companies that I own right now. So a lot of you guys, some of you know, some of you don't know, I own Weld Metals Online. It is a very large company for what it is. We're in 2/3 of North America, and we're still trying to find distributors around the world. It's been very, very time consuming. I do have a full staff that I manage here under all 3 of these companies. Combined, we have like, I think 16 or 17 employees and contractors combined. So you can imagine I have a lot of work to do, right? It's getting kind of crazy here. So that's why I sit in front of these computers and I do a whole lot of work instead of just making videos like a lot of people think that's what I do. They think I'm just a YouTuber. No, I am, but my title is CEO, effectively. I also teach classes on the weekends. I brought back the TIG welding classes because a lot of people were bummed that we canceled them at the end of the year. I simply didn't have time to do it, and I couldn't find instructors that were qualified enough to sit there and teach people. So those are only going through the summer. If you want to book a class, they're almost sold out, so you know you might want to get on it. Here in Vegas, that's where they're at. So obviously, that's taken a lot of my time. Now I want to bring up the current, or not current builds, but the previous builds that I haven't been able to catch up on. You guys know the mini truck, obviously. I'll get to that in just a second. And then there was the second truck, or the vehicle I was building. I still don't think I'm going to show that one yet. I don't know. But, you know, there's a lot of reasons behind that. I also had the motorcycle that I was building. I'm not going to do that anymore. I pretty much stopped riding in general just because the town of Vegas is crazy. You know, and as the older I get, I'm not as crazy as I used to be. So even riding a motorcycle in this town is just nuts. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm probably going to sell the motorcycle. If you're interested in 2016 Yamaha Bolt with lots of modifications, or all the stock stuff because it's there, then hit me up. They go for like $7,000 to $8,000, but I'm you know, it only has like 1,700 miles on it, maybe 2,000. I can't remember. It's so low and new and well maintained. And if you're interested in the turbo kit that I built for a couple years ago, I could probably throw that in for, you know, a little extra cash. I don't want to take a loss on it, but you know, we'll see if you're interested in that. So that build is not going to happen anymore, just because I'm not going to go ride it, and I'm not going to build this trophy piece to just sit around and collect dust. I'd rather somebody who likes to ride and stuff like that, you know, get to enjoy that in their area where it's a little less stupid to go ride. I also have the bumper boats. You guys probably, if you're following on the Instagram, Facebook, and even, you know, YouTube for a little bit, you know, I built a set of bumper boats from scratch. They're super awesome. We did have hours and hours of footage, but problem is the algorithm doesn't like showing lake content on TFS because that's not what you guys want to watch. It's painfully obvious. So that whole build video of building the bumper boats and stuff, not going to happen. I don't know. You guys can see some of the clips in here that I can show of me building them, but it's, you know, to do that kind of build and then go out there and play at the lake, and not to mention now we have to have a license to go shoot at the lake, a commercial license, which is not that bad, but I'm not going to buy it once just for this, you know, one time and go through all that when it's not going to pay or it's not going to return on the video. Because if I do all this stuff, you know, we got to make money. That's just the way it works. So that actually brings us right into the mini truck itself, right? My Mitsubishi Mighty Max, the original plan for that is not going to happen. However, I do have a new plan for it, something I've wanted to do for a lot longer than what I was planning to do with that. Now, the reason why it basically got canceled or put on a lift and just thrown up there for, you know, for who knows indefinitely is what it seems like. The reason why is because I started building that when COVID hit, when we all had the shutdown, and I had lots of time. But as I almost went belly up and out of business, I had to make a decision. It was like, stop working on this truck and restructure the company, or go belly up. And you might even recall at the time I started working on the second vehicle when I bought all of the chromoly in the area. Well, I was paying a production company just shy of $13,000 a month to come in here and shoot the videos and then edit them and get them ready for me, right? But the problem was they went from shooting Jersey Shore to shooting TFS. So that style, obviously that reality style, didn't cross over. We shot 15 episodes and only 7 of them went up to YouTube, and they're like my worst episodes ever. Obviously, the crowd didn't like it. Some of you guys did, but it wasn't enough. There wasn't enough return to cover the expense or cover the cost of shooting it, right? And I was, at the time, we were bleeding out because, I mean, hell, the whole economy was at the time. So I had to cancel that whole series or that whole build, and it's probably not going to happen. And then the Mighty Max obviously took a side seat just because of all of that, right? There's just, I have to run this company. Otherwise, the people that depend on me, like my employees, my family, you know, everybody else, if I don't do my job here, you know, we're screwed. So the build will happen on the Mighty Max. That's why it's still back there. However, the EcoBoost that's in there, it's a 2015 EcoBoost out of a Ford Expedition, I think it was. It's full, it's good, it's tested well. It doesn't have turbos, but it has all the sensors and everything else that you could use on it. If you're interested in a 3.5 EcoBoost, let me know. I'll sell it. And of course, the transmission that's attached to it is what is it? It came out of a V6 Mustang. It's the only one that actually bolts up to it. It's a 6-speed. I can't remember the model on it, but let me know if you're interested in that too. I can totally hook you up. I'm selling a lot of my stuff just to clear out a bunch of space. And then I'm probably even going to sell my YZ450 because I don't go out and ride much anymore, even in the dirt. I might sell my Sherco. I'm not sure yet, but maybe. If anybody's interested, I mean, hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me, and you know, we can go from there. But if I clear out all that space and get rid of all this stuff that's just been burdening me forever, then I'll probably feel like I have more time to get stuff done that needs to get done. So as soon as Weld Coach goes up, and as soon as Weld Metals is running with the new staff, or my newest senior staff, as soon as that's up and kind of running self-sufficient, then I'll be back on TFS running the new series and the new stuff that we actually ultimately want to shoot. But, you know, until that comes along, I just kind of have to sit right here or in front of a student to teach them how to weld. So that's kind of where I'm at with this one. You know, I would love to say that, you know, YouTube and business life and all that stuff is super easy, but it's not. And, you know, I have to make decisions that are in the best interest of my family, my company, my employees, everything. So that's where I've been. But worry not. I really appreciate all of you guys as always. It's like it's so humbling every time that somebody says they learned something or whatever the case is, and you know they gain something out of you know the work that I've done, or they've done better for themselves. So you bet your ass I'm gonna keep on doing that. It's just gonna take a little bit more time. So that's kind of, I guess you could say, what's been happening around here. So, but yeah, check out Weld Coach. Go subscribe to that channel so that way the algorithm knows that it's not a fraud channel. Because, God, I feel bad for anybody who wants to start a new YouTube channel this day and age. It's got to be tough. I feel like they crawled up my ass with a microscope, just verifying that, yes, I'm the same guy who owns TFS and it's a legitimate registered company and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, if you want to get more welding related content, specifically that, go jump on the Weld Coach subscription, go subscribe to Weld Coach, and check out weldcoach.com, because even if you're in one of the testing phases where you get either a free or a discounted class, just so we can run the system and make sure it all works, cool. If not, you know, once it goes live, there's lots of people on there, some famous people too, who might teach you how to weld. There's something for everybody over there, so it'll be awesome. You'll see. It's almost done. And of course, subscribe to TFS. Keep it going here. Keep the algorithm happy, the likes, the comments, all the stuff. I do my best to get back to every one of them, but come on, man. We're over 500,000 people. It's so hard to keep up with that. So, but if you got any questions, I guess, you know, throw them down below. I'm going to eat my lunch because the students are at break right now, and I don't have very much time to finish my bologna sandwich. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much for being part of TFS.